Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream Boost Up English. Turn down the volume over here. What's up, everyone in the chat? Welcome. Put a one if you can hear me in the chat. The sound is okay. Welcome to the stream. If you're not here, you are missing out on some really valuable tips and coaching and feedback if you guys send me your videos on how to sound more clear and natural for American listeners. So, whether you just want to be understood more easily or you want to sound exactly like a native speaker, I am going to be showing you guys how to hear the language like a native speaker and showing you guys how to train and create the sounds in a way that sounds clear and natural to American ears. So, today we're going to be talking about syllabic consonants. It is basically about rhythmic contrast, how to make unstressed syllables even more obviously unstressed, which is really important for American listeners. We need to hear obvious rhythmic contrast for things to be comfortable for our ears. So just keep in mind as we're going, if you guys have any words or phrases you want me to break down, you can drop them in the chat. I'll check them out. Also, just in a minute, you're going to see a QR code where you'll be able to upload videos if you want me to do a live analysis of your pronunciation here on the channel. So let's get set up here. Go ahead and jump into it. Just give me a second. All right. All right, so we're going to be looking at these examples here. Okay. All right, so let's start out here and look at these sentences. And I just want you guys to take a look at them and think about how would you pronounce these sentences normally, right? Most of the time with students that I have in my class, if we take the first sentence, for example, I would expect students to say something similar to some important information in the system. Again, some important information in the system. So for non-native speakers, that might sound great because most likely in your language, you're used to pronouncing everything perfectly, exactly the way that it's written. But as I mentioned before, for American listeners, it is not easy to understand you if you pronounce everything perfectly. So the change that I would make here would be with the unstressed syllables. So if we first identify which parts are important, right here, important, information, system. These are the parts that we need to stand out. So we don't want the rest of the sounds to get in the way. We want it to be obvious when it's important and obvious when it's not important. So just starting out here, most of the time, right, it can change, but almost always, a native speaker is not going to say some. They're just going to say sm. Listen again, sm. Notice, you're not hearing me create a sound in my mouth. I'm creating a body voice, vibration. This is what American ears are trained to listen to. Listen again. Sm, sm. All right. Here, instead of important, I would pronounce this as important. Important. Now, notice this part is standing out, is really clear, and this part almost disappears. Listen, important. In, in, right? If you hear, I'm not pronouncing this vowel at all. Same thing here. This may, I'm making huge, and in this part, no vowel at all. Information, shun. Listen to the vibration inside of my body, shun, right? It's not shun, shun, shun. It's shun. This is what an American ear is attracted to. Okay, same thing here. I would not say system, stem. When I pronounce this with my natural pronunciation, there's no vowel sound in that unstressed syllable. System, stum, stum, stum. And again, what you're hearing is vibration. Second example, same thing. No final, just be no, final. No decision, it'd be decision. And no solution, just solution. So if you hear me pronounce this with my natural pronunciation, it sounds like this. The final decision on this solution. Again, the final decision on this solution. All right, so let's talk about why and when we remove these vowel sounds. So today's lesson is syllabic consonants. So make it so you guys can see this a little better. All right, syllabic consonant. What does that mean? The name sounds crazy. It seems complicated. Trust me, it's not complicated. Syllabic is just talking about syllable, right? The number of sounds. Okay. Normally, when we have a syllable, it's created by a vowel, right? If we look here, we have consonants, right? Each syllable, consonants, three syllables, three vowels. What a syllabic consonant means is that the consonant itself creates the syllable. The vowel doesn't play a part. So we're going to talk about when this happens, why this happens, and help you tune your ear for how aggressive this is and how to do it in a way that will be actually effective and sound clear and natural. All right, so you guys can come check this site out here. It's in the description. Okay, what we're talking about here, syllabic consonants. Look what it says. When N, M, L, or R is at the end of an unstressed syllable, it becomes its own syllable. Okay, read that again. Check that out again. Sometimes we need to read things more than once to digest them. Right? It says when N, M, L, or R is at the end of an unstressed syllable, it becomes its own syllable. So the key here is unstressed and at the end. So let's just jump into some examples, real world examples. Look at this. We've got syllabic N, syllabic M, L, and R. So if we look at these examples here, and like if you look in the dictionary, they're going to be spelled with that phonetic alphabet as a schwa. So we're not going to pronounce even the schwa. Why is this happening? Let's talk about it. So all of these consonant sounds have strong vibration. Okay, these sounds are really, really attached to the body. All right, whoever's watching this, listening, I want you guys to all try to make these sounds and feel how much vibration there is inside of your body, right? So let's start with this N. We're just going to hold it out. Listen to this. Mm, mm, right? Same thing with the M. Mm, mm, L. Ooh, ooh, right? If you touch your chest here, you can feel that vibration. Er, Okay, so this strong vibration takes over the vowel sound in the unstressed syllable. Our American ears are trained to listen to vowel sounds, to vibration, to the body voice. I made a whole video about the body voice and how our ears are attracted to it here. If you come to my YouTube channel here, you're hard to understand right here. This is breaking down how American ears follow the vibration of the body sound. So all of these letters are creating a strong vibrating body sound that is more important to the listener than the unstressed vowel. So in all of these examples, the N is at the end of the unstressed syllable. Okay, so I'm not going to say reason, human, happen, lesson, or prison. I'm just going to go straight from the consonant to the next consonant. So you guys can repeat these after me. Here we go. Reason. Listen to the vibration. Reason. Zn, zn. Right? It's not reason, sun, sun. It's not in the mouth. Reason. It's all in the body. Reason. Human. Happen. Lesson. Sn, sn. And prison. Notice the unstressed syllables still have the recipe of rhythmic contrast of volume, length, pitch, and space. The small versions, right? I'm saying prison, zn, zn. It's short, it's flat, almost no space, zn, zn, zn. And the volume is low, right? When we compare it to the stressed vowel or the stressed syllable, we take those four ingredients and we turn them up, right? Prison. So this removal of the vowel sound is just making it even more obvious for the listener that it's unstressed. All right, same thing with the syllabic M. Mm, mm, right? A lot of people come into the class and they think that M is this, ma, ma, ma. Again, that's a mouth sound. We don't listen to mouth sounds. We listen to body sounds. So we don't say ma, ma. We say mm. So it goes from problem to problem, bloom. Listen, it's not happening here. It's not problem, blem, blem, blem. It's all here. Bloom, bloom, problem. Not custom, it's custom, stum. Right? That vowel, this schwa, is just getting completely eaten up by that strong vibration of the M. Next one's blossom, sm, sm. Really short. Remember, my unstressed syllables are not fast. I'm not saying blossom, some. It's short. And I'm controlling that length from the body, from the diaphragm. System, stum, stum. All in the body from the T to the M, and boredom. What's up, chat? Make a video of, what does it say? Can't see. Of chunks most used in American English. Yes, I could make that. There's a good idea. Was this Balducelli Augusto? Thank you for the suggestion. All right, let's look at the syllabic L. Syllabic L. Now, there's two types of L's. There's a light L and a dark L. I think I mentioned this in the last live. Right, I've got a video about them here. This one right here, talking about light and dark. So without, I'll do a live on this later, but without getting into too much detail, to make this dark L, right? It's not this L, this la la la, right? That most people think about. This is in the back of the mouth and in the body. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So what that means is you've got to keep your voice moving forward, keep this vibration active so that I can hear the energy of your voice moving forward. All right, so I'm not gonna say local animals. Well, this one everyone knows. Everyone knows that this is silent, this is E, right? Struggle. I'm not gonna say council or sandal. I'm just gonna go straight from the consonant to the next consonant. So here we go. Repeat them after me. Local, cool, cool. Right? It's not cul, right? It's cool. The vibration. This is what my American ears are following. Animal, struggle, council, and sandal. Dul, dul. All right, next is syllabic R. Again, as we talked about, really strong vibrating sounds. It's going to wipe out the unstressed vowel. So it's not author, lick. I've seen a lot of different pronunciations of this one, like liquor. Don't even worry about these vowels. It's not calendar. It's not dollar or neighbor. It's author, thir, liquor, liquor. Listen to this one. Calendar, calendar. There's more than one syllabic consonant in this word, right? We've got the unstressed der here. You've also got an unstressed syllable with N. So I'm not saying calendar, lendar. It's lunder, lunder. Listen to the way I guide the listener with the vibration inside of my body. Calendar, right? I'm not moving the listener through the word with consonants. Calendar, calendar. Mm-mm. That's the mouth. We don't listen to the mouth sounds. We listen to the body sounds. It's calendar, lunder, lunder, lunder. All that vibration is sending the message to my American ears. Same here with dollar. I know this is what most of you want or want more of, right? If you're watching my videos, you're probably trying to get these from someone or get more of these from someone. And the next one, neighbor, burr, burr, right? No vowel sound at all. So this is a introduction to syllabic consonants. And there's there's some exceptions, but there's very few exceptions. So you can just kind of tuck this away as something that you can assume is going to happen when you run into these situations, when M, N, L, or R is at the end of the unstressed syllable. Okay, so it doesn't just happen like as we saw, it doesn't only happen in the last syllable. We see it here in the middle. And look, it all also happens in the first syllable in the beginning of the word. Okay, so we've got here, this would be kum, this would be kun, and this would be cool. Notice I'm not saying come, right? That's gonna be the first thing that most of you are gonna try to do. You're gonna still try to pronounce what you see, but you're just gonna try to make it smaller. And that is not a syllabic consonant. And that's not a body sound either, right? I work on this word all the time with people, right? And when I show someone how to pronounce this, the first thing they usually do, and check out this mouth position here. I'm going to show you guys. The first thing that they do when I say computer, computer, right? Listen to the first syllable. Kum, 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 kum. It's just vibration, right? Soft K, strong The first thing most students do is this. Come, come, come. Look at the difference in my mouth movement. This is me. Computer, computer. Most non-native speakers will do this. Computer, computer. Notice that's noticeably different than what I'm doing, right? You can hear that sound, come. In the mouth, you can also hear the vowel sound. That is not how you create a syllabic consonant, right? I'm here, kum, kum, and that's how a native speaker expects to hear it. All right, so let's check these out. Repeat them after me. Listen like a pro. What that means, you're not staring at the letters, you're not thinking about the letters, you're listening to the sounds the way that I'm sending them. The first thing you should pay attention to is the vibration, the resonance here, the melody, the sliding. Listen to this. Computer, computer, compare. Look at my mouth movement, right? I'm not just making the stress syllable bigger with volume or pitch. I'm literally amplifying it with space. Look at this. Compare, compare. We talked about in the last live how important space is to American listeners. Most students have no idea how important the contrast or change of the amount of space is for American listeners here. Next one, complain, complain. Okay, moving on to con- control, control, contain, contain. Right? I'm not saying contain, contain, con. No, I'm saying resonance, vibration, vowel sound. Yo, welcome to the live. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you in the US? Are you in another country? Where are you at now? Where are you watching from? Let me know in the chat. All right, so we had, just to go back a little bit for people that just joined, no vowel sounds here. None. Just vibration and small sound. Listen to this. Computer. Look at this. I'm not saying control. I'm saying con control. And you hear how big that stressed syllable is compared to the small unstressed syllable. Look at this. Contain, contain, confirm, confirm. Right? My American ears are listening to the vibration, the body sound, the melody in the chest. All right, so for the syllabic L here, it's going to be the same thing that we did in the final syllable. We've got to keep that energy of our voice moving forward for that dark L to take effect inside of the body. And I'm not, another thing you guys, and we'll do a whole live about this, about placement. But just because you see a consonant here first doesn't mean you pronounce the consonant first. You've got to bring the energy of your voice up and then slide into whatever you are going to pronounce. Right? That's why when I teach this and I say collect, cool, most students will repeat and they'll say call, 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 right? And to them it's small, and it is small. It does sound unstressed, but it's not a syllabic consonant. You're not actually removing the vowel. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing the energy of my voice up, starting this vibration, and just pushing through, keeping my voice in the body. Collect, collect, like that. Same thing with collapse. Look how I highlight the stressed vowel, collapse. Last one is collaborate, collaborate. So, can anyone tell me, you guys watching in the chat, how many syllabic consonants are here? Collaborate. How many vowels am I removing? How many vowels am I not pronouncing? Oh, you got scared. Someone, you left. Well, don't be too scared because I'll tell you the answer. Look, we have one here. Cool, cool. No vowel, right? La, we're highlighting. Colla. And look at this. Unstressed syllable that finishes with R. No vowel sound here. Look at this. Collabor. Not collabor. Collabor is collaborate. Collaborate. Okay, so this is how you should be listening to English. You should not be trying to connect what you see with what you hear because that doesn't exist in English. And if you do that, you're going to be speaking the way that you're reading. And in American English, if you do that, you will not be easy to understand. So, just to review, syllabic consonants happen when M, N, L, or R is at the end of an unstressed syllable. All right, so in just a second here, we're going to do a live accent review on a tech mogul. Just check out a little bit of his pronunciation, see what we can notice that is off or not easy to understand. Maybe there'll be some missing syllabic consonants there. But before we do that, guys, if you're here live, if you're watching the replay, if this lesson is helpful to you, show your boys some love and buy me a coffee, right? It's an easy way to say thank you for a free lesson, and it is cheap, easy, only $5. Also, follow me here on social media. I post a lot of videos. I'll be posting shorts from this live and other things. Also, you guys we'll have the link to this website here with all these examples. All of these links or these words are clickable, so you can go and you can hear more native speakers pronouncing these words so you can tune your ear. But if you want a real complete pronunciation academy and library with lessons, audios, and practice, I recommend Rachel's English. So, yes, I do work with Rachel's English. And if you use my coupon code, you can get 10% off the academy. And there is the most complete library of American English materials that you can find online. All right, welcome, guys. If you want to see the lesson on syllabic consonants, you either have to go back in the live or wait for the replay. But we just went through and talked about the rules about why these vowels disappear in unstressed syllables after these letters. If there's any words that you want me to break down here quickly, let me know before we go to the pronunciation evaluation. You can just put them in the chat. Say, is this a syllabic consonant or not? You can also send a video for me to do a pronunciation analysis of you on the next live if you scan that QR code, and you can upload a video there. So, you guys ready? I'm going to do a live pronunciation analysis. I'm not sure what this guy's native language is. I know he's Asian. So let's see. Who is our boy today? Changpeng Zhao. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. Let's learn a little bit about this guy before we analyze him. Changpeng Zhao. I say he's Canadian, 49 years old. I mean, I listened to him a little bit. He might have Canadian nationality, but I don't think he was born in Canada. 5'7". What he's worth? 107 million. Not bad. And sorry, I know this is in Spanish, guys. I guess I should have checked that before, but how is how is he so rich? All right, so Binance. Binance is basically a crypto guy. All right. So let's listen to this. I mean, before we listen to this, I think it sparks my interest to see the type of haircut that someone with $107 million has. I mean, I understand, keeping things simple, but I mean, to me, I would hope or imagine that, whoever is cutting his hair could offer him, some type of recommendation like, yo, Chang Peng, I think that this cut would fit your hair a little bit better. Just take it all down. 107 million. Or maybe he does it himself. Maybe his wife does it. Who knows? All right. You guys ready? Should I start the analysis? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to start. Listen to him. See what makes him sound unnatural or even difficult to understand. All right. Let's make sure the sound is on. All right, let's check this guy out. Let's see what he's saying.
The U.S. policy towards crypto changed in the last year and a half or so. So now we have to.
He's speaking really fast. Let's listen to his rhythm.
I have to like actually make up for the.
All right. The first thing, whenever I hear someone say to, like I have to, right? That's probably the easiest thing that you can identify that someone's probably not a native speaker, right? We're gonna say most of the time have to use the schwa, right? So that's an easy tip for all of you watching. Like if you want to start sounding more natural, don't say to, to, right? Because it's not obvious if it's to or also, right? You're mostly being understood through context.
Trouble falling asleep at night is a great cure.
All right.
All right, so did you hear that? I could not understand what that vowel was. He said it's a great what scare?
If you have trouble falling asleep at night, is a great cure.
It's a great skr, right? So there's an example of not pronouncing the vowel sound, the stressed vowel sound in the content word in a way that's clear, right? He's saying skr, right? He's got no openness, he's got no pitch, right? Instead of skr, I would say scare. Look at my mouth moving. I'm highlighting it. It's a great scare like that.
Correct. So and when it self-corrects very quickly. U.S. have the fundamentals. You have the talent pool. You have the
All right, there. That was a syllabic consonant. Did you hear that? He said the fundamentals.
fundamentals. You have the talent.
Okay, actually, no. He made the syllabic consonant. He did. He did remove the vowel.
U.S. have the fundamentals. You have
Fundamentals, tools. So that's what we just went over. The L is at the end of the unstressed syllable, so he didn't pronounce fundamental, right? He said fundamental. So nice job, Changpeng.
B. Chan has also tried to stay away
All
from.
right, just listen to this rhythm though. Like it's not that he's pronouncing the individual words wrong, but if you listen to how similar every word is, there's no contrast here. Let's check it out.
That's a very good point. So B Chan has also tried to stay away from U.S. for the last few
Right.
years.
Has also tried to stay away from US. Has also tried to stay away from US. Right. For my American ears, that's just like an overload of dump of information. Right. He needs to create more rhythmic contrast with length and with pitch. Right. So instead of has also tried to stay away from, right, has also tried to stay away from. Right. So you hear the pitch going up and down, and there's short and there's long. His also tried to stay away from instead of has also tried to stay away from like that. Who we got in the chat? Linking words with consonant to vowel. Because in Brazil we learn words by word. Yeah, that is very common. Consonant to vowel linking is definitely one that feels and sounds unusual at first because you do move that letter over. So let's see if we can find any consonant to vowel examples here where he either nails it or misses it.
So they don't have enough presence here. I think since last year,
That right there. Have enough.
a few years. So they don't have enough presence.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough. Right? Let's look here. Have enough. All right. So consonant to vowel linking, like we mentioned in the chat. anytime you have a word that finishes with a consonant sound, okay, that's the key, the sound, because silent letters don't affect pronunciation. So here the E is silent, so it has no effect. So what he said, he pronounced each word individually. He said, have enough, right? So what we would do as native speakers, we move this over and it turns into vnuff, vnuff. All right, this is unstressed, so I'm pronouncing it as a schwa, just vnuff, right? So this is have enough instead of have enough. We would say have enough, like that. All right, let's check out a couple more examples.
Different ecosystem players around BNB chain.
It, the problem is not that he's speaking fast, it's that he has no rhythmic contrast. I mean, native speakers speak fast all the time. That doesn't make you hard to understand. Pronouncing everything with equal length, equal pitch, equal openness makes you hard to understand. Let's listen to this.
Storage blockchain. And on top of that, there's many different ecosystem players around BNB chain. So
Many different ecosystems players around BNB chain. Right? Many ecosystem players around BOB or BNB chain. Right? You've got to give the listener an opportunity to digest the important parts, right? So I would say many ecosystem, right? He said many ecosystem instead of many ecosystem, right? Where my ears can follow the up and down of that stressed vowel sound, and then the unstressed parts are small and out of the way.
So, okay, I'm just going to change pace for a little bit. This is kind of meant to be a little bit of a
See,
rapid.
listen to how this guy is a native speaker. Let me just change pace for a little bit, right? He's got all that contrast with the pitch, with the length, and that's what make it easy to understand.
Fire. You tell me it's underrated or overrated.
Listen to how the pitch goes up in those underrated, overrated. So, this is the difference between a native speaker and a non-native speaker here.
whereas, like, if you're gonna schedule a meeting with them
I
separately,
like how you said gonna instead of going to. That's good.
you have to travel to them, then takes a
Travel to them instead of travel. I would use the flat T as well because like the vibration of travel and then the schwa, right? Whenever that T is surrounded by vibration, I think that was the first live class that I did. So instead of travel to, I would say travel to.
that transaction can be your agent to his agent,
See that was syllabic consonant. Listen,
right? So that transaction can be your agent.
that transaction, right? So this is exactly what we were just talking about, syllabic N. So instead of transaction, Sean, that part doesn't exist for a native speaker. It'll be shun. Transaction, like all those vowels have to disappear, right? This is the most important part. Transaction, shin. Right, let's throw it in the dictionary and see what the dictionary says for the pronunciation. Look at this. Shun, shun, transact, right? Bolded part stressed, or if you look here with the apostrophe, it's stressed. And then, right, it's written with a schwa, but again, because that N is so strong with the vibration, it just takes right over. Transaction, where he said transaction, Sean, like that.
Portfolio. What happened in the last 24 hours?
Did he say happen?
Green button. That's very
Well, button, right? Button instead of button, tin, tin, another syllabic consonant.
counterintuitive, right? So what you should do is just open up your phone, says, "Hey, show me my portfolio. What happened in the last 24 hours?"
What happened? Pen. What happened? What happened? Or in past tense, I think he was trying to say past tense. what happened, pinned, right? Not happened like that.
How did my portfolio change? And what news are there? Did the Clarity Act get passed? And
See how he made passed? He made that really clear. The Clarity Act passed. So that was a great job of highlighting the important part.
to come to now, and now the AI come around, and they're the most valuable company in the world. So I think for blockchain,
Most valuable, most valuable. Right. This is all equal characteristics of volume, length, pitch, and space for every syllable in that word. Most valuable, right? Or most valuable. You see, I took that pitch up. Most valuable. That's what my American ears want to hear. We want to trace this energy, this vibration, all the way up and down in the stress pitch of the stress vowel. Most valuable, right? And that's exactly what I break down um, in this video right here. So you guys want to go check this out. Talking about tracing the pitch of the vowel. We say should. Should is without an L. Yes, should is without an L. It's just like push, should, good, push, foot. But yeah, no L sound in should. I also have, let's see here, silent letters right there. Boom. Silent letter listening practice here. Let's listen a little bit.
Well, this is the way it should be done, and it's working the way it should be done. And
because he believed that everyone should be literate. Everyone should be literate.
Legally, are there any limits to how far they should be expanded? How far they should.
Right, just should. It's not a dark L. It's not should. Right, it's just should.
Be expanded.
I think it should open our eyes. Should open our eyes.
All right, this is all from Youglish, but I just put together some, examples to make it easier for you guys, and then slow it down, things like that. So again, this is on my website. This is from the playlist of listening practice silent letters. So you can check that out here. What's this one? 139 videos of silent letter practice. All right, let's listen a little bit here to our boy Changpeng.
hopefully, and if you can, you should, right? So and then
Right, there you go. He just said he pronounced it without the L as well.
and if you can, you should, right?
He should. All right. So that was clear. That was nice.
So and then when we leave, we can say, look, we made some
Okay, here's another thing. Is like the reduction of the word can. I'm gonna do a reduction live as well. But this, like, listen to the way he says can. This is about lack of rhythmic contrast as well. Like usually the word can is a reduction. So just like these syllabic consonants, we're not going to pronounce the vowel. We're just going to say kin and listen to the vibration inside, right? So let's listen. He doesn't make it big, but he's still over pronouncing it and is making it harder to understand. Let's see.
hopefully, and if you can, you should, right?
So not this one. This one makes sense because he's using it as a content word and he's emphasizing like if you can, you should. Right? It's like yes, we can. Okay, but the next time
and then when we leave, we can say, look, we made
we can say instead of we can say. So if you're not like emphasizing can, you shouldn't pronounce the vowel. It should just be a reduction. It should just be kin like that.
my goal. I never said, okay, I want to be the best. I want to climb on the right rankings of Forbes. I actually want to climb down on the
The verbs. You see, there's no vowel there. That time you need a vowel because it's important. If it's important, you need to make the vowel so obvious. And he just said verbs. He basically made it to a reduction, like instead of for or. Right? Look at the space I'm creating right here. Or, right? Verbs, no space, no attention, no highlighting or forbs like that. There's a couple more.
The stamina to run another startup, like
All right, another, another, another. Right? You hear that? That is so hard. Not because it's fast, because it's all the same rhythm and stress.
I don't think I got the stamina to run another startup.
Another, another, or another. You hear that? No, the, or another. Where these two unstressed syllables here, all right? Another. The unstressed syllables are so small. Another. I guess it's sorry. Should be here. Another. Right? Putting so much attention up and down on the stress part and keeping the unstressed parts out of the way.
How do you select your team, etc. My way is, I always tell them my way is probably not the almost guaranteed not the best way, but it's one of the ways like people can reference and consider.
That was a little bit better. It's like not the best way, right? Had a little bit more pitch there, easier to follow.
Thing I do is I consult with different governments, only like a hand.
There's syllabic consonant in the front, right? This time it's one of these, right? CON. Let's back it up.
Working on something that's really meaningful. And then the fourth thing I do is I consult with different.
I consult con instead of kun, right? He didn't make it a reduction. He didn't remove the vowel. He made it small, but that still doesn't do the job. It's got to be kun, just k and inside the body. Consult, consult, and that way he's really establishing the hierarchy of the rhythm for the listener. All right, one more.
I'm much more relaxed now. I don't work as hard as when I was running Binance. But I'm still pretty busy. When I was running Binance, I was like 20 hours.
When I was running, right? No pitch. When I was running. When I was running, he pronounced Binance a little bit more clear. I mean, which is makes sense. I mean, he makes a lot of money off that company, so makes sense. He can pronounce it clearly. I'm sure he's had to do that in plenty of meetings. All right, so there's the accent analysis, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll be doing more of these each live. If you know of a famous person, celebrity, business person on YouTube, you want me to analyze their accent, you can drop it in the chat. You can drop it in the comments if you're watching the replay, and we'll check it out live. Again, also, if you want me to analyze your accent during one of the lives, you can scan the QR code there and um, upload your video, and I'll check it out. And if there's something specific you want me to analyze, I'll do that. Or you just want a general analysis, I'll check it out as well. Also, don't forget, if you're learning from this class, do not hesitate to say thank you. You can buy me a coffee. You can send me a PayPal. If you're in Colombia, you can send me with your Yahweh or whatever works for you. So again, guys, this link is going to be in the description. Check it out and make sure you practice listening to the sounds, not reading with your eyes. So that's it for the live today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope you learned something. And now that you know about the syllabic consonants, you just boosted up your English.